Hi everyone, Ula here. In today's video, I want to talk to you about how to stop having anxiety in your relationships. And if this is you, then you'll definitely be familiar with the overthinking, the incessant thoughts that just won't go away, which lead to you feeling like you're spiraling, feeling that you need to get relief over whatever that thought was. And in the end, all you do is start fights, push your partner away even more, make them retreat, and cause yourself even more pain because you don't even get the answer that you're looking for. And you can imagine that this causes a lot of strain and a lot of stress in the relationship, because when you're constantly having anxiety over things, and regardless of whether your partner is secure or whether they're avoidant or narcissistic or anything else, this anxiety causes you to put a lot of pressure on the other person because you're constantly seeking reassurance, validation. If you don't get that, you can become overly emotional. And then all of these things lead to putting more space to making more problems in the relationship than when you started. And as we know, that can even lead to breakups and even worse. So we really want to figure out, how do we overcome this? Well, I want to let you know that this anxiety has nothing to do with your partner's actions. And yes, it has nothing to do with their actions. And it has everything to do with your thoughts and beliefs, which are causing you to feel this way. Because if you take someone who's secure and take someone who's anxious and you put them in the same relationship scenario, they will both react very differently. It's not about what the partner does. It's everything about what you believe about the situation. And that's the same for all kinds of anxiety. But in this situation, we're really talking about relationship anxiety today. So what are the beliefs? If you are someone who has anxiety in your relationship, and let's say your anxiety comes up when your partner doesn't respond to your text messages throughout the day, and your instant thought is, if they're not responding, they don't care about me. They responded yesterday and the day before, but they didn't today. So I've done something wrong, which means they don't feel the same way about me, which means they've probably found someone else, which means they're probably going to dump me, which means I'm probably going to be alone forever. And you can just imagine how this thought spiral works. It's very similar regardless of where you start, where the thoughts start, and what the end belief is, but the same thought spiral occurs again and again. And once you recognize what is going on in that thought spiral, you can really pick apart and find where those core beliefs are. So in that example, we saw that, they're going to leave me, they found someone else, they don't love me, I'm going to be alone forever. So in the end, the core belief is I'm going to be alone forever, and probably there's some other belief associated with it, such as I don't deserve to be happy, or secure love isn't available to me, or I don't deserve to be loved, like I'm not worthy of love. Something like that's probably also in there as well. So once we explore the belief, and you'll probably need to do this a few times, because if you're having this anxiety, it's going to be popping up all the time, and it's really going to be interfering in a huge way with your life. So if you need to, write the thoughts down. It'll help you get some clarity, and it will help you even bring attention to them, because a lot of the times when you're in this thought spiral, you're not even aware of what's going on. You just having a thought, feeling an emotion, having a reactive thought, having a reactive emotion, and it just keeps going back and forth, and you're not really conscious or present of any of these things. It's all automatic. It's all happening subconsciously. You don't even know where it started or how you got there. So you really need to practice becoming aware of those thoughts. That's really the first step. And then to do that, we can write them down, like I said. So writing them down will help you become aware of where the spiral starts, what points you go through, and where do you end up. And once you start writing them down and looking through, you can see some common themes, and you can pick out what are really the significant beliefs and what are really all the other noise in there. So once you've found the belief, and if the belief is if this person leaves me, I'm going to be alone forever, we can explore that belief. When was the first time you felt that way? Did it start from an earlier relationship? Did you have like a really happy childhood and then you had one really traumatic relationship that really just gave you so much anxiety and it was quite traumatic for you? Was that what happened? Or was it something that originated in childhood? Maybe you did have something traumatic happen in childhood. Maybe your parents got divorced. Maybe you had a parent die. Maybe something else significant happened. Where did that belief come from? And by identifying the cause of that belief, the root cause, where it's really stemmed from, you can reframe it, because every other time you felt that belief from then on was really reinforcing the original belief. You didn't rethink it. It didn't reappear then. It was the same belief that originated in that point, from that earliest memory. So once we identify it, we reframe it. What really happened? Well, if your parent died, they didn't leave you because they didn't love you. And just because they did leave doesn't mean that you're going to be alone forever. You've still got your friends, you've got other family, you've now got a partner who's there for you. And just because in that scenario that person left doesn't mean everyone's going to leave. And it doesn't mean if one person leaves, I'm completely alone. I have other people in my life. I have other people who love me. There are other ways for me to feel love. I don't need to rely on just one person. And only once you really reframe that belief and explore it and give yourself a better belief, will you be able to release all the anxiety, because you've addressed the root cause. You're not just self-soothing, you're not addressing the symptoms, because when you address the symptoms, you are putting a band-aid over everything. You're just being like, okay, self-soothe, that's good, I'm good now. But are you really good? It's really hard to self-soothe when you're not really adjusted to it. And for some people, the anxiety is so high that self-soothing can be incredibly difficult. You still go through a lot of pain in that process. So the only real solution is indeed to address that belief. And once you do address that belief, exactly like I said before, you'll find that all the situations that caused you anxiety don't send you on that overthinking spiral, because you don't look at them in the same way. If your partner doesn't respond to your text message, your first thought is not going to be, they don't care about me, they're going to leave me, they don't love me, I'm going to be alone forever. Your first thought will be something along the lines of, they must be really busy today. Or, well, I will catch up with them later and I'll see how their day is going. It's not going to be going to that worst case scenario, having these catastrophes that then end up causing you so much emotional turmoil that when you do connect with them, you just verbal diarrhea, push all of those emotions onto them, and then have a fight or an argument or have them pull away. And that is what will continue to happen if you don't address this. And I'm sure you know, and you've probably had it happen in your relationships quite a lot already. It's probably happening in the current one, probably happened in the last ones, that all this anxiety is causing you to push all this emotional pain onto the other person. You accuse them, you look for reassurance, but because you're so emotional, you don't know how to express yourself. So it all just ends up coming out in maybe an aggressive tone or maybe accusatory, and it just causes fights. And those fights over time lead to distance. It leads to actually creating that thing that you were so afraid of. So if you don't really address this, you will continue to push that person away, maybe even future partners as well, and you'll really prevent yourself from having the person that is going to be there for you, that does love you and isn't going to leave you exactly as you'd feared. But only by releasing those beliefs can we really have that. And once you do release them, you can have that happy relationship. You can just accept scenarios as what they are instead of fearing them to be what they're not. You can really accept your partner for who they are, and you can build that happy, healthy, trusting, secure relationship. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you really need help with this, if you're really struggling with this, feel free to book a call with me via my profile. I can really talk you through exactly what's happening with you, and we can help you fix this together. But if you don't need that, that's perfectly fine. I'm happy to have you here on my channel. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe. That really helps me to share this information with more people. And otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.